morning. We thank you for your participation in this special Veterans Day ceremony as we take time from our busy schedules to honor the members and veterans, both living and deceased, of the various branches of the United States military.
Today we are celebrating Veterans Day. It is the day in which we stand in support of our fellow Americans who have so proudly served our country in the armed forces. America has survived many battles fought bravely by our men and women in uniform. It is these men and women, both past and present, we should remember and thank by honoring them on this day. In 1780, the American patriot Thomas Paine wrote, "These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country, but he stands it now, deserve the love and thanks of men and women." Today we are gathered to do just that, to offer our love and thanks to the unbroken line of men and women who have given service to their country. America's armed forces have always been prepared to defend our freedom and the freedom of others throughout the world. More than 1 million American service members died in the service of this country. More than 1.4 lived with the wounds that they suffered while fighting for us. More than 25 million former service members are still living today. They are that special group of Americans we call veterans. Today we honor them by saying, thank you for serving.
Please join me in pledging your allegiance to the greatest nation in the world. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we will have a moment of silence and the playing of taps to honor all those veterans that have paid the ultimate price for our liberty and our freedom. We now ask that you observe a moment of silence. The Tamaqua Area High School Jazz Chorale will now perform a rendition of America the Beautiful. We should be humbled by this special observation, as our actions today stand as a memorial to those who have risked their lives to preserve the freedom and liberties which we so often take for granted. They say that the love of liberty exceeds the love of death. To those who have served and have served, we say thank you.
Before we conclude this very honorable ceremony, we wish to recognize those who are affiliated with our district who have served in the armed forces. From the Army, Mr. Robert Betts, Mr. Michael Grabowski, Mr. Ronald Miller, Mr. Arthur Oak Sr., Mr. Bob Brenner, Mr. Arthur Williams. From the Navy, Mr. Bob Dacey and Mr. Ray Kunkel. From the Air Force, Mr. Joe Darren, and from the Coast Guard, Mr. Dale Klein. Lastly, it is my honor and privilege to call forth Mr. Larry Wittig, our school board president, and Mrs. Carol Makuta, superintendent, to issue diplomas for the following individuals who served both in Vietnam: Joseph Donald Clausius and Terry L. Snyder. Please come forward and accept your diploma. Before we conclude, this is a recognition of the sacrifice that these two gentlemen endured. They were unable to finish their high school career because of being called into service. Every single one of you individuals, students, this is a very, very important thing that they did to sacrifice their lives for your freedom here today. We thank you, and at this time, this concludes our program.